Welcome, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating, maybe even a bit controversial book, Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. We're here to explore it, understand it, not necessarily, tell you to use it.
Exactly. Our goal here is really to pull out the key ideas from the material we looked at, mainly the breakdown of the laws. We want to see how these concepts, these laws, actually show up in the real world. It's about seeing the mechanics of power, not about grabbing it yourself necessarily.
Seeing the mechanics, that's a great way to put it. So what is power, according to Greene, and how do these laws, some of which are pretty surprising, help us get a handle on it? Let's start with Law 1. Never outshine the master. Now this feels, well, wrong, doesn't it? If you're ambitious.
Yeah. It does seem counterintuitive, but what Greene taps into is ego, specifically the ego of those above you. He argues that making your boss or whoever's in charge feel secure and brilliant, maybe even more brilliant than they are, well, that's safer than showing them up. Use quiet competence, maybe a little subtle praise. It's about disarming them, really.
Okay, so it's strategic self-preservation, not just flattery. That makes sense. Then there's Law 3. Conceal your intentions. This one definitely leans into that sort of shadowy, strategic vibe.
It does sound a bit cloak and dagger, yeah. But I think Greene's point isn't about always being deceptive. It's more like strategic ambiguity. If people don't know exactly what you're planning, they can't really work against it effectively. It gives you room to move.
They project their own stuff onto your silence.
Exactly. Fear, hope, whatever. It keeps them guessing. Of course, you have to be careful not to become totally isolated or seem untrustworthy to people you actually need.
Right, there's a limit. So keep people guessing strategically, which kind of leads into Law 6. Court attention at all costs. This feels like the opposite of concealing things. It's about being seen. How does that fit?
Well, it's about survival, isn't it? In business, art, politics, if nobody notices you, you don't exist, essentially. Power requires visibility. Greene emphasizes being bold, standing out, not just, loud for the sake of being loud, but memorable, making an impression.
Being deliberately visible.
No.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit to some of the more intense ones. Law 15. Crush your enemy. Totally. Wow, that sounds harsh.
It does sound harsh, absolutely. And Greene frames it as, well, pragmatic. His argument, looking at history, is that if you leave an enemy, even a weakened one, with any power at all, they often come back, stronger, maybe seeking revenge. So ending the conflict completely prevents future problems.
So it's a cold calculation, historically observed, rather than just, advocating cruelty.
Precisely. It's more descriptive of how high-stakes power struggles have often played out, less a prescription for, office politics.
Gotcha. Okay, then there's the psychological angle with Law 33. Discover each person's thumbscrew. This sounds manipulative. What's a thumbscrew here?
Yeah, the wording is stark. A thumbscrew is like that hidden vulnerability. A deep fear, maybe, or unchecked pride, or a secret insecurity. Greene says, understanding this gives you incredible insight. You can predict how people might react, navigate situations better. It's not necessarily about exploiting it, though one could. It's about knowing what truly motivates or scares someone. Deep leverage points.
Understanding the levers. Okay, and one more. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. This sounds almost like common sense financial advice.
It does, but the power dynamic is key. Greene's saying nothing is really free. Accepting gifts, favors, it creates obligation. Dependency. And dependency is the enemy of control of your own power. So pay your way, maintain your independence, don't get caught in those invisible strings.
Right, so looking at all these, some feel pretty ruthless. But the point isn't to become this calculating manipulator, is it?
No, I really don't think that's the core message for most readers. It's about awareness. It's like understanding the rules of a game, even if you choose not to play it quite that way. You see what others might be doing, you understand the dynamics.
So the book is less a manual, more like a mirror, showing how power operates historically in business, even maybe between friends sometimes, revealing patterns.
Exactly. And knowledge itself, like any powerful tool, can be used constructively or destructively. This just provides clarity on those forces.
So the big question we leave you with is, what does all this mean for you? Do you want to be powerful, or perhaps understand power to avoid being powerless? Something to think about after this deep dive.